The story of Mark Zuckerberg and Donald Trump is one of power, politics, and controversy. In many ways, their journey together begins in the same place, at the crossroads of modern technology and American politics. Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, and Trump, the former U.S. president, seem to come from vastly different worlds, yet their paths have crossed in ways that have shaped both the tech landscape and the political realm. From their contrasting approaches to leadership to their clash over social media policies, their rivalry has become a symbol of the broader debates surrounding the role of big tech in society. The birth of the feud. The first significant point of contention between Zuckerberg and Trump came with the issue of content moderation on social media platforms. Meta, under Zuckerberg's leadership, became a key player in the tech industry, connecting billions of people worldwide. However, with great power comes great responsibility, and Meta's role in curating content became a focal point during Trump's presidency. As misinformation and divisive content spread on the platform, critics began to question whether Meta was doing enough to curb harmful content, particularly during the 2016 U.S. presidential election. As Trump continued to dominate social media, particularly on platforms like Facebook and Twitter, the debate around content moderation became more urgent. Critics argued that platforms were either too lenient or too strict in their moderation policies. Meta was caught in the crossfire, with critics on both sides of the political spectrum accusing the company of either censoring conservative voices or allowing dangerous content to proliferate. The tension reached a boiling point after the events of January 6, 2021, when a mob of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to overturn the results of the presidential election. In response to Trump's inflammatory rhetoric leading up to and during the riot, Meta made the controversial decision to suspend his account indefinitely. This move set off a political firestorm, with both supporters and critics of Trump weighing in on the decision. For many, it was a clear sign that Silicon Valley was becoming too powerful, shaping political discourse in ways that could undermine democratic values. Trump's response: accusations of censorship. For Trump, the suspension of his account was more than just a corporate decision. It was a direct attack on his ability to communicate with his supporters. Trump, who had used social media as a key tool to rally his base and promote his agenda, was quick to respond. In public speeches, interviews, and social media posts, he accused Zuckerberg and Meta of bias and unfairly targeting conservative voices. He argued that Silicon Valley's liberal leanings were at the heart of the issue, claiming that tech giants like Meta were actively working to silence political viewpoints that didn't align with their own. Trump's rhetoric escalated as the months went on. In interviews and rallies, he regularly criticized Zuckerberg, referring to him as part of an elite left-wing conspiracy aimed at controlling public discourse. Trump also accused Zuckerberg and other tech CEOs of using their platforms to influence elections, alleging that they were suppressing conservative viewpoints and giving undue prominence to liberal causes. In addition to his public criticisms, Trump began pushing for more aggressive regulation of the tech industry. He called for antitrust measures to break up large tech companies and argued for stricter laws to govern their operations. Trump's rhetoric resonated with his base, who viewed the tech industry as part of the broader, deep state conspiracy that sought to undermine their values. The call for greater regulation of big tech became a key part of Trump's platform, both during and after his presidency. Zuckerberg's strategy: navigating the political minefield. Zuckerberg, for his part, took a different approach to the conflict. Unlike Trump, who used fiery rhetoric to rally his supporters, Zuckerberg opted for a more measured, strategic response. As the CEO of Meta, Zuckerberg found himself in a difficult position, trying to balance the interests of shareholders, users, regulators, and political leaders. In the wake of the January 6 Capitol Riot, Zuckerberg defended Meta's decision to suspend Trump's account, arguing that it was necessary to prevent further violence and protect the integrity of the platform. However, Zuckerberg also recognized the growing backlash against big tech. He understood that Meta's influence on public discourse made it a target for criticism from both sides of the political spectrum. In response, Zuckerberg began a concerted effort to improve Meta's public image and relations with politicians on both sides of the aisle. He engaged in lobbying efforts in Washington, meeting with lawmakers and regulators to discuss the future of the tech industry.